Well, hello there once again, music fans. This is Music is a Journey, and I'm Peter Scove, and I'm going to follow up today on a challenge that I put out somewhere around mid-August, I think it was. I never actually gave an official deadline, simply because I didn't know when I was going to get around to actually putting together the final results, but here we are, and it seems kind of suitable because it's now mid-September, so I think 30 days has been quite enough time for you people to get a video together. Anyway, it wasn't any kind of big challenge. There wasn't a contest. I certainly wasn't giving away money or anything like that. It was just a thread that I thought had some fun challenges, and if anybody felt like participating, they were welcome to do so. So, in today's video, we're going to take a look at the few videos that actually turned up, as well as check over some of the input from some people who contributed through their comments. So my challenge just had three, criteria, prompts, questions, whatever you want to call them. The first one was to list a song that you really love that has non-English lyrics. Now, the reason for that choice was because, okay, so I'm obviously an Anglophone. I grew up in Canada as an Anglophone. However, I was raised by Danish immigrant parents. So for the first couple of years of my life, the words I spoke around home were Danish before, until I think at the age of 2.5 I started interacting with neighborhood kids and I began learning English. Now, I actually was born and spent the first 4 years of my life in Montreal. We did actually live in an English neighborhood. However, being in Montreal, of course, there was French all around. And in fact, just growing up in Canada, there was regular exposure to French. Even if I didn't watch the French channel or listen to French radio, it was there on all the packaging. Even the hockey cards I collected or Star Wars cards were in English and French. Of course, we had French in classes during elementary school, and I had to study it for, I think it was like 5 years in junior high school and high school. So French, Danish, English. My best friend then was a son of Chinese immigrants. So when I visited his home, not only was I treated to some delicious Chinese food, home-cooked meals, but also I got to hear some Cantonese through his parents. So I was exposed to a fair range of languages. I guess you could also say growing up in North America with the US as the neighbor, with movies and television, there was a little bit of Spanish leaking through as well. And then of course here I am in Japan now, where of course I have to speak Japanese whenever I go out somewhere as well. When I was studying Japanese, I was also teaching English voluntarily, teaching and learning in Vancouver, and I met a lot of Korean people, and out of curiosity I studied a little bit of Korean and picked up a few phrases. Yeah, so throughout my life it's been of course English, it's been Nil i fru Hansens kælder kan man købe frikadeller. It's been Ouvrez la fenêtre, fermez la porte. Donde está el baño? Tanshin charimnida. 这个葡萄好吃. And 何やってんだお前。ちゃんと話聞いてる？はあ、まあ、さてと、このチャレンジの結果を発表しましょう。ちょっと待って。Sorry, the language settings went off. Okay, it's back to English again. Anyway, we'll take a look here at the results of that. Also, my second thing was to name a song that has the title of a city where that city should be of some importance to you. So it could be where you were born, where you grew up. It could be like where your mom is from, as somebody said, a place you like to visit, where your wife is from, whatever. And again, the reason for that is, you know, I was born in Montreal. I grew up in Surrey, British Columbia, which is outside of Vancouver. I moved over to Japan. I've lived in a few different cities around here in Saitama Prefecture, just north of Tokyo. I've lived in 4 different cities here, actually. So there are some cities that are important to me in my life, and I asked everyone to pick one that was important to them and name a song that had the city in the title. And then the last thing was just to pick a group or artist that was from their general area. And, you know, growing up in Surrey, I don't think there's ever been a band from Surrey that made it big. But Ray Maguire of Trooper was actually from the South Surrey area. So he is actually from Surrey. Just they always say he's from White Rock because White Rock sounds cooler than Surrey. We had kind of a bad reputation in the 70s. But yeah, you know, like you hear like bands from New York, from Los Angeles, from London, even from Canada. It's usually from Toronto. I think even Winnipeg had us beat, you know. We had one band from Surrey called No Fun. I actually knew two of the members because they worked in a record store in the building where my dad's office was. In fact, I picked up my Yardbirds Roger the Engineer album, which I've got in the closet right now at that store. Anyway, they were from a band called No Fun. They actually had a song, Let's Go to Surrey Today. They're pretty fun guys, actually. But, so let's get on with the results here, because I actually had, I had 6 people actually contribute to this with videos. And then a couple of people who contributed in the comments, one person who sent me email, a big Google document actually, and then just a couple of people who said they would, and one person said he actually did the video, but I never actually got to see it. So let's just take a look here. We had, first of all, Berkshire Mike, new guy to me, and we're both new to each other, but I thank you, Mike, for joining in. Mike's video actually had, when I checked it yesterday, 117 views, which I think is possibly more than my original video had, so that's pretty cool. Let's see here. He actually had a funny comment about, he actually looked into my channel a bit, and he noticed that my topics kind of cover a fairly broad range, so he said, you know, I might do a topic of one thing that gets me some more subs because people are interested in me talking about that, but then my next video will be a completely different topic and I probably will lose some subs, which has happened. I think I mentioned this, like I was around like 198 and then I got notification that I got 3 more subs and I thought, oh, I'm over 200 now, and then I checked and it was like 197 or something. That was a while ago. But anyway, Mike was right about that. And Mike's into punk rock a lot, which is kind of cool. Oh, well, actually, it's very cool. I'm not so much into punk rock myself, but it's kind of like on the periphery. I went to, some of my friends in junior high school were into punk. One of my really good friends now is into punk. So, I mean, it's right there. It's right outside the window. So anyway, Mike mentioned Dear Mussolini by, oh, I was going to look this up. Deutsche Amerikanische something, a DAF anyway. It's I think it's a kind of it's a German band. So Dear Mussolini, actually I don't think it even was Dear Mussolini. I think it was a German title, but anyway, in German. Then Belfast Telegraph by a band called Shock Treatment, naming the city of Belfast, which I think Mike was either from or living near or grew up in, or his mum was from it or something like that. And then a local band for him was Catherine Tickell and The Darkening. So there we go. Thank you for that, Mike. I'm going to put everybody's, it's only 6, but I'm going to put them all in the links to the channels in the description for this video here. As well, I have made a playlist on my channel. If you go to my playlists, there is a list of all 6 videos for this challenge here. And hey, actually, if you think, oh, I missed the challenge, I want to get my video in, is it too late? You can still send me a video anyway, and I will thank you for it, and I will add your video to that playlist. So moving on, Chris 171 views on his video. Wow, it's like, I made the original video, and everybody who's contributing is, you know, getting way more views than I am. So that just goes to show that we're talking about some really cool people here. And Chris is a pretty cool guy. Yeah, actually, I'd say Chris has got to be one of my new internet friends. I like him. He's really good. He had lots of fine things to say about my channel, like really encouraging people to come on over and pay me a visit. So I really appreciate that, Chris. Let's see here. His pick for non-English song, Falco. Rock Me Amadeus, the German version. And that's kind of funny because I think it was in my junior high school days. That song was really popular. A couple of my friends were really into it, and I don't know how many times I heard Amadeus, Amadeus, Rock Me Amadeus around me, but I know the song for sure. Okay, so that's cool. Then David Lee Roth and Ladies' Night in Buffalo. Now, Chris actually isn't from Buffalo, but let's see here. He and his daughter as well went to college in Fredonia, which is near Buffalo, and so he would often go to Buffalo to check out bands, check out record stores, and that kind of thing. So there you go, Buffalo. Thanks, David Lee Roth. And then finally, a local band from Poughkeepsie, New York, Mind Force, a punk thrash band. And actually, I did check them out a bit because it sounded kind of curious. So pretty cool, intense stuff there if you guys want to check out Mind Force. All right, moving along, All the World's a Stage. Steve, my other really good new internet friend. Actually, I'm picking up a few new friends here because of this, challenges and threads and contest things here. Getting to know a few people, and people like Chris and Steve. We regularly watch and comment on each other's videos now. And again, Steve had some very fine things to say about my channel. Thank you, Steve. You're a gentleman. And he got 118 views, again, more than me. And his pick, he said he had a hard time thinking of a song with non-English lyrics, but he then picked the Beatles, the German version of I Wanna Hold Your Hand from a special vinyl edition he had. For a city, he picked London Town by the Pretty Things from their second album of 1965, which is the only Pretty Things album I have. It's called Get the Picture, and I really love the song LSD on that one. The music is just so cool on that. So, yes, thank you for that. And then, so Steve is from around the Chicago area, and his pick for a local band was a band called The Insiders. They have an album, what is it, Ghost on the Beach, a really good power pop band. So, anybody want to check out The Insiders? You like power pop? I have a few power pop things in my collection, so actually I should check them out too. Okay, moving along. Actually, one of the first people to jump on is Thor's Musichammer, who is over in Randers, or Randers, as they say, in his native Denmark. They probably don't say it in that same strange way that I just did. 53 views on his video. He actually does lots of really short videos, usually 5 to 3 minutes long, sometimes less, just introducing some of the latest things that he's picked up. Good variety of stuff. I mean, he's recently been into death metal, but he's also introduced some pop albums, some straight up rock albums and whatnot. Plus, he introduces a lot of fairly local bands as well in his area. So Thor's Musichammer, his first pick was a fellow by the name of Kim Larsen. That's a good Danish name. And a song called Joanna. Maybe Johanna, I don't know, in Danish. I actually haven't listened to that one yet, but that was his pick from the Kim Larsen album. For a name of a city, actually, the song he picked is called Cobblestone Street, and it is from a solo album by Mike Tramp, who is from White Lion. And Mike Tramp is, of course, originally from Denmark, and the song Cobblestone Street talks about the cobblestone streets where he grew up. And apparently there's a line in the song somewhere that mentions Copenhagen. So Thor's Musichammer, he's from Randers, but Copenhagen is close enough. And then for a local band, he mentions Silver Phantom, which is a metal band there. He's got the record to show for that there. So that's pretty cool. Thor's Musichammer, all his videos are in English. However, Thor's Musichammer, hvis du vil lave en video på dansk, jeg tror jeg vil gerne se den. So please do. If you do, tag me. All right, then we go to MGKBOSTON. This guy is a pretty fun guy to watch. He just has like cool stuff going on. He talks about albums and he holds them up like a lot of people do, but like recently he was talking about his daughter going off to college and the college he went to, and he did, you bite the beer can and drink it like that, and he had all sorts of fun stuff going on in his video, so he's really cool. I liked his introduction. He didn't really know about my channel so well, so he didn't even know about the contest so well, but he's just really an entertaining guy to watch, Mr. MGKBOSTON, so let's see here. And actually, he's originally from Canada, as I kind of pick up from what he's saying, but now living in Boston. So let's see. He had 160 views, so that's pretty cool. His pick for a non-English song was a song by the Sugar Cubes. I didn't know who the Sugar Cubes were, from the album Life's Too Good. Okay. And the song was Birthday. And on side 2, the song Birthday is in Icelandic. Alright, so they're an Icelandic band, and then he dropped the bomb that actually was Björk's band before she went off solo. I had no idea about that, but now I'm curious. I'm going to be checking out the Sugar Cubes. He also then mentions, he's into reggae, so he mentions for his town pick here, Funky Kingston by, what is it now? Toots and the Maytals, I think it is, from Jamaica. Now, he says he's never been to Jamaica. He's never been to, of course, Kingston, Jamaica, but he has been to Kingston, Ontario. So, yeah. So we get a mention of Kingston, Ontario on a reggae album, by association, by name, yeah. Anyway, finally, local band, he picked the Pixies. I had no idea the Pixies were from Boston, but there you go. A lot of stuff I didn't know. I didn't know Bjork was in the Sugar Cubes either. So there you go. That was his pick, and that is MGK from Boston. Okay, and the final video contributor that I actually saw, this is mikevinylspiral. I had a hard time saying that the other day. Mike is actually a really nice guy too. I think Mike and I can be friends. I like him. And anybody, you know, when we share those like nice little comments on each other's video, I comment on his, he comments on mine, and we do that. That's that kind of, you know, I feel like, I like this guy. I'm going to watch more of his stuff. So anyway, Mike Vinylspiral, he had some fine compliments about my channel as well. So thank you, Mike. Let's see here. So his video got 98 views as of yesterday. And his pick for an album, actually it's a French band called La Femme. But he's picked an album where all the lyrics are in Spanish, curiously. And the song was Ne Pasa Nada, which, according to him, basically is like, no problem, no worries. Actually, it's more like, you know, nothing's happening, but it's translated more as, you know, no worries, no problem, whatever. Then he's now living in Eastbourne in the UK, but he says a retirement town, so not much excitement going on there. But not far away, a little bit down the road, some 20 miles, is Brighton. Of course, Brighton gets mentioned in quite a few songs, both in title and in lyrics. And he mentioned a couple of bands, you know, Queen, Brighton Rock, and The Who. What is it? One of their songs, I've been to Soho Town, Brighton. I must have played them all in the Pinball Wizard. But his pick is from the Anti-Nowhere League and a song of theirs called So What. Now, I've actually not ever heard the Anti-Nowhere League, but I know the song So What because I think Metallica covered it, didn't they? Or somebody I know did. And they've got this, I've been to Eastbourne, I've been to Brighton, I've been to Soho, I've been to Brighton, I've been to Eastbourne too. So what, so what, so effing what? And there are a lot of expletives in the song, but it's a pretty cool song. So, and it's cool. Mike also digs some punk as well, so that's pretty neat. Okay, and that's it. What else did he have here? Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry. Town. And, no, he grew up in Eastbourne. He now apparently lives in or around Leeds. And so he featured a compilation album of post-punk bands from the city of Leeds. And, yeah, he picked out one. Oh, and there was another album, too, by a band called The Yard Act. Actually, I don't know if the Yard Act was on the compilation or if it was a separate one now. I was writing these down between classes at work yesterday. So anyway, that's that. Thank you, Vinyl. Okay, let's get it right here. Mike Vinylspiral. Got it. Okay, then. Let's see here. And I had some comments on my videos. There was one Record Talk. A guy named Chris. Let's see here. He said that he would add doing this video challenge thing here to his list of videos to make, but when I went to his channel yesterday and just flipped through the last, month's worth of videos, there was no video for this challenge up. So the guy must be super busy, and that is fine. Aren't we all super busy at some time? So anyway, thank you at least for watching my original video and considering joining Chris at Record Talk. Then going over to side 2 here, I see I've got comments. David Goodship. Oh, David's a nice fellow. He's left me a lot of nice comments. I like talking to him. So he, first of all, picked Anonymous from Quebec, a thrash band, and a song called Sous Poisson for a French lyric song. And then he also picked a Finnish band, Karpiklani, a folk metal band, and a song called Tout le temps, The Windless. So that was it. He gave me some non-English songs to go by. Actually, I think David also recommended the latest Blind Guardian album to me, and I got it because I was thinking about it and I liked it. So thank you, David, once again. We also had, let's see here, Risimpso. Oh yes, a Ningen Isu fan. So he picked the song Kyofu no Daiyo, the great, the King of Terror, as his non-English song, and he says he's from Detroit, and the song, he said he didn't really know many songs with Detroit in the lyrics, but he picked Detroit Rock City from Kiss. I had to remind him there's also a Japanese comedy film about this ordinary geeky guy in the daytime who is this like total metalhead guy at night with all sorts of costume, very visual K, and they actually had an album for the soundtrack of the movie, and it's called Detroit Metal City. So yeah, there's that. Then we had Jeff McCormack 777. He said he was interested and he'd like to get a video up, but I went to his channel, didn't see anything, so I guess he must also have been busy. That's cool. And then someone from Female Fronted Metal fan Randy8461 actually said that he prepared a video and it would be up soon. But I went searching around, and the closest thing I could find was Female Fronted Metal YouTube channel with a lot of videos about female fronted metal bands, but I didn't see anything for my contest. So if there's a video out there somewhere and you happen to see this one, please let me know in the comments, and at least I can watch it, tell you what I give my response, you know, and add it to the playlist. And finally, French Vinyl Addict said that he could jump on this one, but last I checked, there wasn't one. So I guess there are some busy people out there. And finally, I'd like to mention, and David, you know what? I'm actually never sure about how to pronounce your last name, but I'm going to say David Sessim. David and I have been friends for a few years now, bonding through the Japanese metal band Ningen Isu. David loves to do research into the lyrics or the meanings behind album titles, and he writes these massively long, well-researched posts for the Ningen Isu International Fan Club on Facebook, explaining all sorts of background information, telling us what the lyrics mean, writing the lyrics out in Japanese, in Romaji, and in English as well. He does a heck of a lot of work. Very... wow, I admire David. So anyway, David sent me a very long Google document about a band called Mosaico de Ravenna. And I'm just going to read what he wrote here. Not the whole document, just the very beginning of it. So it's the name of a pop rock band formed by musicians Edmar Roca Jr., voice, main composer. Well, maybe we don't need all the names of everybody here. The name of the band, Mosaico de Ravenna, Ravenna's mosaic, inspired by the mosaics of the chapels and churches of the city of Ravenna in Italy. The sound was diverse, traveling from funk to ballads, from basic rock to different experimentalism. The band Mosaico de Ravenna is one of the pioneers in mixing rock and roll with regional references. They only released a single album in 1989 called Cave Canem, from Latin, beware of the dog. Ah, I see. Maybe it's not Cave Canem, it's more like a Cave Canen, or something like that. And has an image of a mosaic of a dog. All right. More details. Actually, lots and lots, in typical David style, lots and lots of details, including lyrics to songs and so on. Anyway, thank you, David, for your contribution. And hey, if anybody wants to check out Mosaico de Ravenna, go ahead. Only one album, so hey, it might be a collector's item. Okay, that does it. That is all the results of my nice little challenge thread that I had going. I don't know if I'm going to do another one. If I do, maybe at 1,000 subscribers someday in the future, I might give away something. I have all these photo books, but I don't know. We'll worry about it when we get to that bridge. What do they say? That we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Something like that. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching today. Thank you everybody who contributed videos. Thank you for the people who thought they would do it but just didn't have time to. Again, late videos will at least end up in the playlist, and I'll at least watch them. Okay. Everyone, we'll see you for an April Wine. First 10 albums of April Wine video during the week sometime. And then from the week after that, September 26th, I'm going to be gone for 6 days. I am not going to be here. I'm going to be off somewhere in Japan because I got a gig for NHK World's program Journeys in Japan. It is a travel program about traveling in Japan, I actually appeared in 6 episodes between 2013 and 2019. But from 2020, of course, with the whole COVID thing, the program just shut down. No more new episodes were filmed, and then I heard last year the director was going to retire. However, I got email about a month ago asking me if I would be available at the end of September. So, got to get one more video up before I leave. I'll tell you all about it when I get back, maybe. I'll tell you when you can see it. It'll be on the internet. You can go to the NHK World website and you can watch it. I'll let you know about that. Anyway, I'm out of here. See you all later on, folks. Thanks. Bye.